Hello everyone, Mr. Martin here, ready for another PE lesson. Today we're going to be looking at our gymnastic shapes. So what we're going to look for you to be able to achieve by the end of this lesson is making sure that you can recap what shapes there are, how you use them, alright, and be able to demonstrate exactly how to do them. So we are going to start with, before anything else, you need to do something. What is it? I'm sure at home you remember what we do before we start any PE lessons. Yeah, that's right, we need to do our warm-up. So, for us to get our pulse raising nice and quick, that's going to be our number one. We're going to work through to our number two, which is what? Can anyone remember? It's our dynamic stretches, and our third one, which is the most fun one for you guys, which is our fun games. Alright, so I'm going to play that with you after. So, number one, we're going to be doing pulse raising. We're going to work for 2 minutes, alright? So 2 minutes, we do 8 different pulse raising activities. So the first one we're going to do is we're just going to run on the spot. So just running on the spot again, just going to work for 2 minutes, just as we go through. So just 2 minutes, so we're just running on the spot like this. So just get arms and legs working as we go through. And then we're going to turn that into star jump, so we go out and in. Just 15 seconds. Making sure legs nice and wide, arms nice and wide too. Once we've done that one, we're just going to do high knees. Just high knees on the spot. If you want to move around the area that you're in, then that's absolutely fine too. Once we've gone through that, we're going to then turn that one into heel flicks. So just heels up, as you can see, just up to the bottom of the back. Going through, and then we're going to change it up, and we're going to start to skip. So we're going to skip through, so just skipping on the spot. If you want to go around in circles, or you want to go around an area, that's absolutely fine too. So skipping through, and then I'm going to do burpees. So I'm going to go down, and up, working through different activities as we go. Make sure you're joining in along with at home. Good, next one I'm going to do mountain climbers. So I'm going to go down all fours, and up and back. Just make sure you've got a solid base to do it from. And there's our 2 minutes. Next one, you're going to do dynamic stretches. So I'm going to start with my arms. And we're going to hold, remember, 15 seconds each. Excellent. And then, next one I'm going to do is, I'm going to hold this muscle. So this is called our quadricep, the front of our leg. And change into the next one, making sure you've got your balance before you start. Good, next one, a little bit more dynamic, just opening the gate. And we're going to go close in. Just make sure we work both directions. Good, and we go through, working through kicks. So just stretching out the long hamstrings as we kick through. Ready for our gymnastics. And last one we're going to do is just going to do some bending. Work in our stretches and mobility of different muscles and different joints. Good. Last thing we're going to do is 2 minutes. We are going to go through Simon Says. So making sure you're listening and we're ready for our lesson.
So we're going to start with Simon says hands on head. Simon says shoulders, knees. Did you move? Because Simon didn't say. Making sure we're listening. All right. Hands on head. Oh, who's done that? Simon says shoulders. Simon says spin. Simon says toes. Simon says knees, shoulders. Did anyone move? Excellent. Simon says star jump. Simon says knees. Simon says shins. Simon says shoulders. Shoulders. Did anyone else move then? Again, just making sure we're listening to Simon says. Okay. So again, just to get you warm, get your blood pumping, all right. Heart, making sure that that blood is pumping around the body. And again, all your muscles are warmed up. Mine certainly are. So I can feel my heart beating now. Can you put your hand on your chest? Can you feel your heart beating? Good. And excellent. So your arms, your legs, all right, your upper body should all be nice and warm now. Okay. So I think we're ready, all right, to go into our main PE lesson. So again, this is just going to be a short clip, all right, for you to get to understand, all right, so where we will teach, and then you get to have a play along at home, all right, and also you get to demonstrate your understanding of the techniques that you can do and the way that we need to do them. So gymnastics, we're going to be looking at basic shapes, all right. So we're going to teach you today, you're going to get to learn your start and your finish if you don't already know it, all right? You're also going to get to then go through 6 different shapes. And then once you've taught them, or once you already know them, so fantastic, some of you might do gymnastics at home, you know, before outside, when clubs are open, you might go out and do them. But if you don't, that's absolutely fine, because again, we're going to recap them today within our PE lesson. So what we're going to look at, first one, is our start. So our start, we're going to stand with our feet shoulder width apart, and our hands are just going to be raised straight up to the sky, all right, and then down again, all right. So can we just recap for me again? So shoulder width apart with our feet, we're standing in a space, arms go up, and they come back down again, all right. So that's just our start. Our finish, so however we finish a gymnastics move. So what we're going to go through this time is we're going to have our feet again, shoulder width apart, our hands are going to go up, and they're going to go round and down, all right? Just try that one again at home. Ready? Arms go up, and round and down, all right? So we're just practicing that. If we can show me again, shoulder width apart, we're going to go with our start, then our finish. So we go start, and finish, and round and down. Good, all right? And we're looking at each time we do any of our shapes today, or our start or finish, we need to make sure our posture is good. All right, so the posture is the way that we hold ourselves, the way that our body, all right, is positioned. So if I was holding myself up really tall, all right, my posture is very good. I'm really straight down the center of my body. All right. Now we've done our start and our finish. So that's when what? When do we do our start? Does anyone know? It's when we start a routine, and that's it. You guessed it. The finish is going to be when we finish any routine. All right, or any sequence. So when we do our sequences and our routines at the end of the lesson, all right, remember our start and our finish. So first shape we're going to go through. It's very, very simple. We're going to do our straight. All right, and although that it sounds simple, you need to make sure there's a few key things that we ensure that we do with that shape. So our straight, we're going to put our feet together, knees together, tuck our bottoms in at the back, tuck your tummies in at the front. Arms are going to go straight up, reach as high up to the sky as you can. All right, remember keeping that posture really, really straight and really, really tall. So we're going to recap that one again. Feet together, knees together, no gaps. Tuck your bottoms in, tuck your tummies in, arms up and reaching really tall. Fantastic. All right, if you show me that at home, then that's really fantastic too. So that's our first one. What we're going to look at is we're going to change from our straight to our pencil. So same thing, feet together, knees together, tuck your bottoms in, tuck your tummies in, arms up. But this time, our arms are going to come together to create a point. That point becomes our pencil tip. All right, so we're really tall, and then we're creating that pencil top. All right, so we've done 2 now. All right. Because we've done 2, I want you to now recap that home. So we go. Ready? Feet to feet, shoulder width. So our start, good. and then finish, up and round and down, good. And we're going to go into our straight, feet together, knees together, tuck your bottoms in, tummies in, arms up, fantastic. And we're just going to change from there straight into a pencil, fantastic. All right, I'm hoping you're all following along and you're making sure that you are practicing the skills as well as I am. All right, so there's two. All right, so we've got our start and our finish, and then we've also got two of our shapes. So we've got 4 to go. Let's try sitting down. Let's try 2 different shapes that we can do sitting down. All right, so one, we're going to put, just like we've done with our straight, feet together, tuck your knees together, and we're going to have our arms over the top. So we're making sure our toes are pointing towards the ceiling, our arms are stretching forward over the top. And does anyone know what this one's called? Give you a chance at home to answer. This one is called your pike. All right, so that's our pike. If we just open up our legs like that, so we go nice and wide, arms over the top of our feet with our toes pointing up. All right, keeping that good posture, so we're not bending over like this. We're keeping that good posture. We are creating our straddle shape. So pike, straddle, pike, straddle. Good. Can you do that at home for me? All right, so when I call it, you're listening, so you're going to react. Ready? Pike, straddle, pike, straddle, straddle, pike. Good, fantastic. All right, so you've learned 2 more shapes there. We're going to jump ourselves back up. All right, so we've got, can you recap them at home? Can you think about which ones we've done? We've done 4, all right, those 4. Right, think about them for a second. Do you know them? Shout them out. That's it. Shout them out at home. That's absolutely fine. So we've done our pike and our straddle. We've done our straight and our pencil. So we've done 4 so far. All right. And hopefully you've done them along with me, so you've practiced them and know them too. All right. So we have 2 more to do now. All right. So one we're going to do. This should be quite fun because it's a basic shape that's in the sky. All right. So we're going to do a star. All right, so for a little bit of fun, let's just make it energetic. So we're going to go out, in. Good. All right, so our star is just our arms stretched up, okay, with our wide feet. All right, so if we go together, out, good. Together, out. Can you copy? Together, out. Fantastic. All right, and then the last one of our 6 shapes, because remember our start and our finish aren't shapes, they are just our positions that we start in and we finish in. The last one of our 6 is our tuck. So we're going to have bent down. We're always going to stay on our feet though. All right. Knees, okay, bent like this. Hands over the top, and then we're going to tuck our head in. All right, and down into this position. So we're nice and small. All right. We're going to go through it once. You are going to show me as I do it. All right, the whole way through. But this time we're going to add our start and our finish. All right. So where's our start go? Exactly. Is the first move, and then our finish, that's right, at the end. So, first one, shoulder width apart, start, good, and down, and we're going to then go, I'm going to change it up, we're going to go into this one. What's this one? That's it. Make sure you understand which one's which, tuck, and then we're going to go feet together, knees together, tuck your bottoms in, tummies in, arms up straight, into our pencil, fantastic, and down, into our straddle, into our pike, and we're going to jump up, into our star. Excellent. All right, so remembering, start, finish, all right, which means finish there and out and round. Good. All right, so we've got our start and our finish with our straight, pencil, tuck, star, all right, straddle and pike. All right, so making sure that we understand all of those 6 shapes with our starts and our finish, okay? So what we're now going to finish off with, all right, is going to, we've got 2 different activities left to do, all right? But now you know them shapes, and hopefully you've got very good at them now, and you can do them with speed as well, all right? I've got a challenge for you guys at home. I want to go and play with them. So I want to just take 2 minutes, all right, to come up with, well, maybe 2 or 3, all right, depending on how quickly you can do it. I want you to come up with a sequence, and all we're looking at when we talk about a sequence is we're talking about our shapes, put in any order you like, but you need to show me a start, a finish, and then your 6 shapes in between. So you might start with a tuck, all right, and then pike, straddle, etc. Or you might start with your straight. Totally up to you which order you do them in. So again, your task is to spend 3 minutes or so. All right, you're going to come up with your start and your finish, and the sandwich in the middle, so your sandwich filling, is going to be your sit shape. Any order you like. All right, 2 minutes. Put me on pause. All right, and then practice those for 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, that's all yours. 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, welcome back. Hopefully that you've practiced those, all right? So you've taken those three or so minutes, all right, to practice your routine. More than happy for you to send them to us, all right? Send them in via our email, all right, over to us so that we can have a look at them, all right, and see how well you've done, and then we might even be able to give you some feedback as well, all right? But that's fantastic if you've managed to achieve that. Don't worry if you haven't, all right, because again, we can always help support that. As we go through our gymnastics lessons this half term, you will be able to pick up and we'll be able to support you through it. So, the next challenge, once you've done that, all right, once you've put them into that order, I've got one more challenge for you to go away and do. That one challenge I'm going to look at, all right, is I'm looking for you now to practice what kind of surfaces, what kind of body parts you could do it on. So I'm looking at the floor thinking, I might do it on the floor. So I might do my straddle, my pike on the floor. So we showed you that one, didn't we? So how else could you do that? All right. What other shapes could you use? So for my straddle, my pike, I might, for example, all right, I might lay on my side with my arms there, and I might do my pike, all right, on my side. I might do it in the air. Something like that. So there's 2 other surfaces. All right, I want you to practice how else you could do it. So for example, I might do my pencil on the floor, all right, on my back. So think about it. You might even have a go at doing it on your sofa. Imagine laying down doing a pencil on your sofa. That would you just like chilling, wouldn't it? All right, so practice 2 things. Different surfaces you might do them on. So you might do them on the floor, you might do them on a chair, you might do them on a sofa, and also what type of body parts. Are you doing them on your front, on your back, on your side? All right, I want you to practice that at home. So again, go away, see what you can come up with. I'm going to give you, for this though, I'm going to give you a good 5 minutes. So what I want you to do is put us on pause, go away, practice them. You might even want to put some music on in the background. All right, if mum, dad, carers, etc. At home allow, all right, and you allow yourself to, you might want to put it on a laptop, on a phone, something like that. Just play a little bit of music in the background while you play with different surfaces. So remember, trying different, maybe floor, chair, sofa, etc. You might even try it on your bed, all right? But you're looking for different surfaces that you can do them on, okay? So 5 minutes, put us on pause, give it a go. Okay, welcome back, final part. So, I would be very, very interested to see which surfaces you've done, which body parts you've used. All right, in school, we've had various different body parts, some being very, very creative. So hopefully at home, you guys have done exactly the same for us. You've created different movements, all right? So using maybe our star laid flat on the floor, almost like a snow angel in the winter, all right? I want you to think about, all right, those different things. Throughout our half term of gymnastics, think about how we can use those shapes, all right? Think about when we move on to apparatus. So you might be at home, you might think about, how are we going to do that? Well, you have to tune in and see, all right? But that, unfortunately, has come to the end of our PE lesson, all right? But before we do, let's just recap, all right, what we've done today. So we've talked through your shapes. So we've gone through our start, and we've gone through our finish, all right? We've gone through our pencil, we've gone through our straight, we've gone through our tuck, we've gone through our star, we've gone through our pike, we've gone through our straddle, and fantastic. And remembering obviously how you finish, when we finish our different sequences or routines, you've come up with your own different order for your shapes in a different sequence, and then you've also looked at the different body parts that you can use. Alright? So, and again, recapping, different surfaces. So, just because I'm sat on the floor with my pike, it doesn't mean that I only can have to do it on the floor. I might do it, if you look, I might, for example, sit on a bench and do it. So I might use a different surface. all right? I might stand on the bench and do my straight with my feet together, knees together, tuck our bottoms in on our tummy, all right? So hopefully that you will have picked up on those. Again, we'll help you recap them throughout the half term, all right? If there are any questions, then do feel free to email, all right? And we'll do our best to answer them if we can, all right? If anybody's certainly stuck. But hopefully that's given you a good insight into our shapes. If you either haven't done them before, you're not sure of them, but if you do, then it's giving you a great opportunity just to practice your gymnastic shapes, all right? Thanks for watching. Join us again next week for our next video. Take care.